Dubai International, one of the world's busiest hubs for international passengers and cargo, has been named Airport of the Year for Middle East and the Subcontinent at the Payload Asia Awards held in Singapore. Organised by industry publication Payload Asia and supported by Logistics Insight Asia, the annual awards are a celebration of excellence that aim to highlight the air cargo supply chain organisations that make a difference in the industry. The awards cover 22 categories of the air cargo sector, in addition to 3 special category awards that are determined by a senior-level industry panel drawn from across the industry. Commenting on the award, Jamal Zal, the Vice President of Terminal Operations at Dubai Airports, stated that the recognition is special since it is bestowed by peers in the industry, adding that cargo operations have changed in a major way at Dubai Airports in recent years and that the airport will continue to deploy the latest technology, systems and processes. And Abu Dhabi's Rotana Jet is boosting flights to Oman in a bid to offer an alternative for thousands of expats planning a visa run. It has increased frequency to Muscat to 4 flights per week and also plans to add a 5th flight on November the 21st, with a round-trip ticket costing around 330 dirhams. According to UAE regulations, tourist visa holders must exit to any neighbouring country or their home country and enter on a new visa after they attain a work permit. Rotana Jet is targeting this segment by offering a cheaper option to exit via Oman. The airline is also targeting the 46 nationalities that can attain a 30-day visit visa upon arrival. Those nationalities often exit and re-enter via Oman in what is known as a visa run and include the UK, US and newly added countries such as Romania, Croatia, Poland and Cyprus. A number of companies offer buses from Dubai and Abu Dhabi to Oman expressly for people on visa runs, with a return journey from Dubai to the Oman-Qatar border taking about 4.5 hours. According to Rotana Jet, they can be a more convenient option for residents in Abu Dhabi. However, flights do not depart on the same day, making it mandatory to spend the night in Muscat for a return flight the next day. In October, Rotana Jet said that it moved its scheduled operations from Al Bateen Airport to Terminal 2 at Abu Dhabi International, with the airline continuing to operate its private jet services from Al Bateen. Industry experts at the recently concluded Middle East Gems and Jewellery Forum say Dubai commands around 30% of the luxury market in the Middle East and around 60% of the UAE's luxury market. The DMCC launched its UAE Gold Bullion initiative back in 2012 following the success of their Visions of Dubai gold coins to celebrate the UAE's achievements as a major gold trading hub. The UAE gold bullion coins support the growth and sustainability of the gold industry in the country. According to DMCC, it continues to be a popular souvenir and investment tool, having sold over 9,000 pieces. That's equivalent to over 110 kilograms of gold. In 2014, DMCC says they expect sales to reach 45 kilograms, over 2,300 coins. Also present at the event was Ras Al Khaimah-based firm Arabian Pearl Holdings, the only local producer of high-grade quality pearls certified by the Swiss Gemological Institute. According to the company, they have been witnessing a steady rise in demand from 2006. After supplying to top jewelers, the company is now gearing up to expand into their own jewellery line, which will launch in the first half of 2015.
Initially, the launch will be in the UAE and the GCC countries, but the brand is being designed for international use. So there will be a global launching in London and New York, as well as in Singapore. That's the following stage, but this is in the planning now.
With the local community, because of obviously the images themselves. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed and the Palm Jumeirah in one of them, and His Highness Sheikh Khalifa, the President of the UAE, and the Burj Khalifa on the other one. But it's also very popular with tourists that want to take a piece of Dubai back home with them and want to take something that actually represents, I guess, everything that they saw here. So the coins are very popular. They're sold throughout the gold souk. They're sold through some of our distributors such as Dubai Duty Free, Pure Gold, and they're also available internationally now, as we have international coin dealers that actually carry the coin and are selling it in Europe and other parts of the world.
Organisers of the event also say that Dubai is one of the world's top 3 trading hubs for gold, diamonds and gemstones, and that the UAE is the #1 jewellery consuming nation in the Middle East. This is seconded by Robert Wan, known as the Emperor of the Tahitian Pearls, who was present at the event and shared the secret of his success. Meanwhile, Gemfield CEO Ian Hairbottles says historically, beauty, rarity and quality are the drivers of value and luxury, but globalisation, marketing and communications have posed challenges for coloured gemstones, which have not moved forward in the luxury sector as fast as other precious stones. However, he is still optimistic about the market.
Jewelry today has shrunk, and jewelry in total is probably around about 20 to 25% of luxury goods. Of that, coloured gems are down at the 20% level, so very much a small fraction, but going in the right direction fast. And that's the important thing. Where you are is less important to me than the direction you're heading in, the momentum you've got. And coloured stones have got a great direction. I'm hoping in the next 2 to 3 years, and I believe all indications are there, that coloured stones, where they're only 20% of the diamond sector or of the gemstone sector, they should soon be up to 50% or more, and the whole gems in total are heading back, where in luxury we should be going up to a higher percentage, maybe 30-40% of luxury.
We have do a lot of study, market research, and a lot of innovation on our ideas. We have to create all the time new ideas. Otherwise, maybe people are too boring about pearls. Everybody knows pearls, but how to make an arrangement, how to create the jewelry, this is the key of the success. This is what we are doing now. I start here in the Middle East at Abu Dhabi first, a few years ago, and I moved down to Dubai. And Dubai has better sales in terms of volume. And we get into Blumenthal, we create a new concept. It's a pearl bar, and people love it. People love it. And I hope it will continue that way.
The US dollar index continued building on its upward momentum, closing last week's session 0.66% higher. The index, a measure of the value of the US dollar against a basket of currencies, peaked at 4-year highs above 88 before a sluggish US non-farm payroll report reigned in some of the recent gains. The report showed that only 214,000 new jobs were added in October, well below the expectations of 235,000 on Wall Street. Despite the fact that September's figure was revised upwards to 257,000, October's sluggish figures pared back the US Treasuries and the greenback. Perhaps the most encouraging figures from the report was the drop in the overall unemployment rate to 5.8% from a previous 5.9%, and this was particularly encouraging considering the increase in the US labour force participation rate, which bounced off 36-year lows. To find out more about this and to gauge the performance of the financial markets in the week ahead, we earlier spoke to Gaurav Kashyap, the head of futures at Alpari Middle East.
Well, despite a third-week higher closing for the US dollar index, we saw the greenback par some of its gains late in the trading week last session on the back of a weaker US non-farm payroll report. Now, what the reaction to the market to that report was, it was a weaker than expected report, was that the US dollar did give up some of its gains, and we did see US Treasury prices decrease on the news. And what that solidifies is the US interest rate differential with the rest of the globe. So what we'll continue to see is weaker than expected US data will continue to weigh down the prospects of the US dollar. Now, once again, weaker than expected data is going to result in expectations that the US Fed will look at delaying future rate hikes. So if we see a docket of improving US data, this will continue to improve the prospects for the US dollar. But overall, in a shortened trading week this week, we expect the US dollar to range between 86.90 and 88 in this week ahead. What we will be watching for is the Australian dollar. Remember, we have a host of key economic data coming out from China. This morning we had some data coming out which has led to further upsides in the Aussie dollar. We can expect to see that pair test 87.60 against the US dollar. We have industrial production figures also coming out on Wednesday. Also, we'll be watching for the Euro US dollar. We do have some German GDP data coming up later in the week. We have the overall Eurozone GDP reading also coming out, as well as inflation data. The euro is probably expected to test 123.60 levels, with upside resistance coming at 125 levels. But overall, it should be a range-bound trading week in a shortened trading week.